Hi, it's John Foley. I wanted to take a minute today to talk a little bit about one of my favorite subjects, QR codes. I don't know if any of you folks ever watched the movie Network way back when, but people were outraged about what was going on in the economy, which they probably are today. But one of the themes was that they brought the individual on TV, and he got on there and said, get outside now, scream out your window. I was mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Well, that's kind of my theme today. Now, why is that? Well, first of all, QR codes, I think one of the reasons they've really taken off in terms of some marketing things here is not only the ability to connect to the mobile audience, but the United States Postal Service giving a discount to people that put their QR code on their mail piece and used in a marketing effort, which is really great. But, I don't know why all of a sudden we think that we can take our marketing practices and throw them out the window. So I have a couple examples. I'd like to show you where I think there's some good use and then some that weren't so good, and maybe learning from this, you can actually apply these for your customers out there. So I have one here from Kohl's department store, a 2D barcode, and over to the right, it's a good code as far as I'm concerned. It's not too dense, and when you scan it, I won't bother you with the scan, but I scan it, brings me to a nice mobile optimized site. Job well done, right? Now, here's where I think we just really need to help some of these other folks. So here's Planet Fitness mailer, and the Planet Fitness mailer has a little QR code. First of all, it's like an off black. It's not even a heavy black, so it can be difficult for someone to actually read that. When you scan it, you go to their full-size website. There was no tracking put on the code, so they wouldn't know whether I typed in planetfitness.com on my phone or this mail piece drove it there. And anybody that knows me, if you can't measure it, don't do it. It's a great way to measure the mail piece and then actually see if you're reaching the mobile audience. So here, they need to make the code darker, maybe even a little bit larger. Track it. Use a QR code generator that has a tracking tool in it. Shorten the code, right? So it's not as dense. And I think you get at least you'll be able to measure the responses based on your mobile phone for those types of folks. So that's what I would do for that one. And I can go on, and I know Jason Pinto, my buddy's going to do more of these because we collect these now. And I can tell you that I get more mail today with QR codes than I ever did with personalized URLs. I think they all have a spot, but this is really interesting how they're starting to be used. I mean, right away, it's come faster than personalized URLs, and I think they have a lot of legs because our target audiences are using mobile phones. So this is another direct mail piece, just a dentist over in Reading, Massachusetts, and here's just kind of interesting because I scan the code and it actually brings me to a Google Maps, right? So it has all the string of text when they generated the code. That's why it's so dense, and that's why it's hard to read. And I know that they're not tracking the code based on the tool they use. They probably use some free QR code generator that didn't shorten it and didn't track it. So I suggest you do that. And then, whoever did the printing for them shouldn't allow that to go through, I guess, with that. We can barely even read the picture. But that's just a side note because that's just who I am. So I got another one here, right? So I don't know if anybody's heard of this. It's called Life Proof, right? Well, one of the geniuses I have here, Adam Meixler, actually turned me on to this. The jury's out yet. I haven't put my phone inside of this Life Proof, but it's supposedly waterproof, dirt-proof, snow-proof, shock-proof. So the reason I'm showing you this today, I like the three-dimensional box. Pretty cool, right? And it shows you how the phone works. But look at that. Right at the very top, there's a QR code. And I scanned that QR code. Unfortunately, they drove me to a full-size website that's very hard for me to read on my cell phone. And I just wanted to take a minute today to talk about some best practices. And it's not that hard, right? Make sure a couple of things you do. First of all, test, right? Don't let it get to me before I find out that it doesn't work. The other thing is, make sure you're using a tool that tracks the QR code, right? Make sure, if you can, that it shortens the URL if you're driving them to a website. And then my number one thing is, if you want people to read it on a mobile phone, you need to optimize it for the mobile phone. So to be able to make little websites is easy. As a matter of fact, we have a tool called iFlyMobi, iFlyMobi.com. You get a free test drive there, and yeah, you can call it a sales plug, whatever you want, but it's an easy way to generate the QR code and also build the mobilized website all in one. And if folks did that, and for folks that know me, whether it's my tool or somebody else's, we need to apply marketing best practices here. So good luck with your QR code endeavors, and I hope this helps anybody that might be doing some down the road. Have a great day.